been a wild year, and um, something that not many people probably predicted, for the Hutchinson family. Even looking back at 2020, kind of at my lowest point, and now being here and obviously being drafted number 2 overall and being in the position that I'm in. Not many people would have predicted that, and I kind of had this very meteoric rise my senior year. So, man, it's just something that I've been seeing for myself for a very long time, and it's finally came to fruition this year. So, I mean, that came to a lot of mental work, physical work, sacrifices. I mean, you name it, I did it, and to get to this point was no easy task for sure.
I don't want to sound cliche, but does hard work beat talent?
Um, yeah,
Your
oh, for
opinion.
sure.
Hard
I
work
mean,
beats
I
talent,
mean,
right?
especially you see at the college level and the NFL level. I mean, there are so many talented dudes out there, and really, I think the separator is obviously, you said it. It's the hard work, it's the sacrifice, it's what you do outside. You could be the most talented dude in the world, and you could still be a good football player, but if you're not making those sacrifices necessary outside of the game while you're in the game, I mean, everything. I don't think you'll ever reach your true potential. And that's no matter how talented you are, or how many gifts you've been blessed with. I think I've always had the mentality of giving it all I got, because I wanna use every gift to the best of my ability, um, and really just get everything I can out of my body until I'm done playing the game.
You talked about 2020 being a tough year for you, and I, I follow Michigan religiously, but never really the players. I'll be honest. Like I'm guilty as charged, right? 'Cause players come, players go, they get drafted. Um, and even on your 2020 season, like if you asked me, I was like, yeah, I think I know that the Hutchinson kid is. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's dad played, and but coming into this year, the expectations because of your injury, I want you to talk about that. Were the expectations for you were really high, but the
Mhm.
expectations for the world and what they basically told you were low, correct?
You're saying going into my senior year?
Yeah. Yeah, after your
Um,
injury and after that going
yep.
into your senior year.
Yeah, for sure. I think a lot of people forgot about me a little bit.
Mhm.
It's what happens when you're out the game a little bit. Yeah, I broke my ankle that third game, and people forget about your name. And obviously with my mindset, you said it. I mean, I set my standards as high as I can, and obviously I expected myself to be in this position. And if I wasn't in the position that I am today, I would have been a little disappointed, to be quite honest with you, because I always saw myself as a top draft pick, a top guy in college. But it was just a matter of things falling the right way, making the sacrifices, and really definitely fortunate, to have the coaches that came in my senior year. Had the new 3-4 defense where I was standing up, and they really let me go. So, I can't say it was all just me working hard and stuff, because my junior year I was working my ass off. I was
Yeah.
working my ass off for months during that COVID season, and sometimes life is just a little bit unfair. That you get a tough break, but um, I think it's all about it's just staying consistent through the ebbs and flows, and it's like you could be working your ass off and not getting the result that you want, but I think if you keep staying consistent through the ups and downs, you'll eventually reach the point that you're seeking, if you're doing things the right way.
Yeah, and I love that we talked about we started with hard work beats talent because you're right. First of all, there's a small percentage of high school players that make it to college. There's an even smaller percentage that make it pro, and every one of them are super talented or they wouldn't be there. But the difference is that extra rep, that extra push, that extra time in the gym, that extra time of what you're going to eat and paying attention to your diet, that extra watching film, all those little 1% every day and over a year is 365% better. I think that that's the real difference of like yourself. And I'm not comparing you to Tom Brady, but he's another Michigan cat, but he didn't have all the talent.
Right.
He was average at talent at best, but he had all the work ethic and he believed it. He set those standards. You said that. And a lot of young people out there, a lot of young cats, they quit too early. They walk up to the stairs, Aiden, and they look and they see, man, that 100th floor is too high. I can't make it. And they quit. And
Yeah.
you, my man, I think you looked at, all right, I want to get there, but I'm going to focus on getting to level 2. then
That's right.
level 3, then level 4, and it's always take the stairs. I talk about it in my book. Like, you can't, there's no elevator in life. You have to put in the work in the stairs, and you have to stumble a little bit because it humbles you and it makes you
Yeah.
want it more and it makes you appreciate it more. And I want to bring this up. A couple of the players that I know on the team, I mentioned to you a little bit before we started, they were like, this dude works like he fucking cares, right? Like, like, Justin Pugh's a friend of mine, and he plays for the Cardinals, and he was blocking Aaron Donald, and I gave him shit. I'm like, dude, how did you guys lose to the Rams the last two games? Like, explain that to me. And he's like, dude, and maybe you'll appreciate this because he talks about defense. He said, in the NFL, everybody's talented. He said, you'll play a lot of defensive linemen who will go hard a play, take a play off. Go hard a play, take a play off. He said the difference between Aaron Donald and everybody else isn't talent. It's that fucker goes 110% every single play. And what I thought about when he told me that was you. Like,
Hmm.
you're the type of dude, whether it's on your side of the ball or not, you go 110% every play, because that's when you actually gain, experience, wisdom, strength, is in the moments that it doesn't count, right?
Hmm. Yeah, I've always been a big believer in controlling the controllables. I believe that's one aspect of things that it gives me peace of mind at the end of the day. If you play a game, you're not going to have your best game every single game, but if you play a game, have a practice, and you know that you gave it your all, that your preparation was great, everything was great leading up to it, but sometimes it's not the outcome you want. You got to be able to live with that, and I'm able to live with that through controlling those controllables. And obviously that's emptying the tank every time I'm out there. And it's how I've always played the game. It's how I've always prepared for games. Off season, it's how I've always worked out. Is I can't sell myself short because I know um, that I'll never reach my full potential that way. And my dreams and my goals for my career, they're very lofty, and people will probably laugh at them. But I'm very confident in myself and me achieving those and making the necessary sacrifices to get to that point.